The moment that changes everything. Imagine opening your eyes one morning, and before your feet even touch the ground, a strange and unsettling realization rises inside you. Your entire life has been quietly shaped around what other people need. Not what you want, not by choice, not suddenly, but slowly, invisibly, through 1,000 tiny moments where you said yes when you meant no. Through every time you stayed quiet to keep the peace. Through every instance where you put yourself second, third, or not at all. And then one day, without warning, it hits you. You've built a life that doesn't include you. Maybe you don't know when it started. Maybe you don't know how it happened. But you can feel it now. The heaviness, the distance, the quiet ache of not belonging to yourself. Here's the question that changes everything. If you're not living your own life, then who is living it for you? Today, we're going to peel back the layers, slowly, gently, but truthfully, and uncover the hidden psychology, the quiet conditioning, and the invisible wounds that led you here. And by the end, you will see the world and yourself with a clarity you didn't know was possible. This is the moment your life returns to you. The loss you never noticed. You didn't lose yourself all at once. You lost yourself in micro moments. The first time you apologized, just to make someone else feel better. The time you started carrying emotional weight that wasn't yours. The moment you realized that staying quiet was easier than being honest. And somewhere along the line, you learned a painful truth. Your needs felt dangerous. Your desires felt inconvenient. Your boundaries felt like betrayal. So you made yourself smaller, quieter, more agreeable, more selfless, more invisible. And people loved you for it. They applauded your strength. They praised your kindness. They admired your patience. Not knowing this version of you was built from survival, not choice. What happens when the world loves the version of you that hurts you the most? Psychology has a name for what happens when your identity forms around others. Identity borrowing. This happens when your sense of self becomes anchored not in who you are, but in who you are for others. It begins early. A parent who praised you for being the easy one. A sibling who relied on you to be the stable one. A friend who always dumped their crisis in your lap. A partner who needed you to hold the entire emotional house together. And because you wanted to be loved, you shaped yourself into who they needed. Not out of weakness, but out of survival. Carl Jung warned about this. He said the greatest danger is to become what the world expects instead of who you truly are. Because once your identity is built on approval, your freedom disappears. You start thinking, if I disagree, they'll leave. If I say no, I'll disappoint them. If I choose myself, I'm selfish. And so your life stops being yours. How many of your choices are truly yours? And how many belong to the people you didn't want to upset? Root cause number 2, emotional conditioning. The second root is subtle but powerful, emotional conditioning. You learned early on that peace was safer than expression. Harmony was safer than honesty. And being low maintenance was safer than being real. Children who grow up with emotionally unpredictable parents often develop a dangerous skill. They become experts at self-erasure. You didn't just adapt. You watched, you learned, you anticipated, you adjusted. You became the person who could read a room like a survival map. And now, as an adult, you still do it. You know everyone else's emotions better than your own. You predict their reactions. You manage their comfort. You cushion their insecurity. But there's a cost. Your nervous system learned to feel safe only when you are pleasing others. Which means disappointing someone feels fatal. Saying no feels like danger. And choosing yourself feels like a moral crime. What if you've been confusing safety with self-abandonment? Root cause number 3, approval addiction. The third root is invisible and socially rewarded, approval addiction. It's not like other addictions. It's elegant, respectable, even admirable. But internally, it's devastating. Every compliment becomes a hit. Every thank you becomes validation. Every "you're amazing" becomes proof you're worthy. And slowly, your self-worth gets outsourced. You stop asking, "Do I want this? Do I enjoy this? Does this feel aligned?" Instead, you ask, "Will this make them happy? Will this keep the peace? Will this make me lovable?" Approval becomes your oxygen, your currency, your survival strategy. But the truth is cruel. If you need others to approve of your life, you will never get to live your own. What happens when approval becomes the prison you mistake for belonging? How society teaches you to disappear. Here's the part no one talks about. Society benefits from you disappearing. A selfless person works harder. A quiet person complains less. A giving person demands nothing. A low-maintenance person doesn't cause disruption. People will take and take and take, not from malice, but because you made it look effortless. So society praises the traits that drain you the most: strong, independent, reliable, selfless. None of these traits are bad. But when they become your identity, you lose the right to be human. What if the world has been celebrating your disappearance? The hidden costs of self-abandonment. Self-abandonment is not emotional. It's neurological. Your brain learns that your needs equals conflict. Your truth equals inconvenience. Your desires equals danger. Your boundaries equals punishment, and slowly, you stop wanting anything. You stop asking for anything. You stop expecting anything. There is no emptiness like the emptiness of a person who has learned to silence themselves. And yet, you're still functioning, still smiling, still showing up, still holding everyone else's life together. On the outside, you look strong. On the inside, you're starving. Not for food, not for attention, but for selfhood, for the right to exist without apologizing. What is the psychological cost of a life where you never get to choose yourself? The turning point. Here is the truth no one prepares you for. The moment you realize you're living for everyone else is the moment the old life dies. Not because you destroy it, but because you can finally see through it. You begin to notice how often you say, "It's fine." How often you over-explain yourself. How often you shrink to avoid conflict. How you apologize for existing. How you feel guilty for resting. How you rationalize other people's behavior. How you carry emotional labor for everyone. These realizations are painful, but they are also your rebirth. Because awareness is the beginning of liberation. If this version of you is created, then a new version can be created too. Step by step, how to reclaim yourself. Here is the part everyone thinks will be complicated. It isn't. Reclaiming your life begins with small rebellions, not dramatic confrontations, not explosive boundary setting, not cutting everyone out. Just small rebellions. Rebellion 1. The pause before saying yes. Pause. One breath, one moment, one heartbeat. Long enough to ask, "Do I want this?" Rebellion 2. The honest sentence, choose one truth a day. Small, non-threatening, but real. "I'm tired today. I need some time alone. I don't have the capacity for that right now." The world won't collapse, but your identity will begin to rebuild. Rebellion 3. Micro boundaries you don't need to say no. Just say, "I'll let you know," or "I need to think about it." This is boundary training for your nervous system. Rebellion 4. The desire list. Write down everything you want, but never allow yourself to admit, even if it feels impossible, even if it feels selfish. Desire is the doorway to identity. Rebellion 5. The reclamation ritual. Every day, choose one thing that belongs solely to you. A walk, a moment of silence, a cup of tea, a journal entry, a song you like, a choice you make without asking permission. These micro-rebellions reconstruct your sense of self from the inside out. Your life doesn't return all at once. It returns moment by moment, choice by choice. Reflection exercise. Before you click away, take 1 minute. Just one. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly. And ask yourself this question. Who have I been living for? Don't overthink it. Don't justify it. Don't explain it away. Just answer. Write that name down. Because tomorrow, we're going to talk about the psychological contract you never agreed to and how to break it without burning your life to the ground. You're not too late. You're not too broken. And you're not too far gone. This is your turning point. This is the moment your life comes back to you. And it starts right now.